Hey everyone, welcome back. In this tutorial, I want to show you how you can scale your shapes, manipulate them, change the sizes of them, and also rotate and do a little bit of aligning just to make your designs and your different drawings look that much more professional. So referring back to our logo icon that we're dealing with here, you could see that this grill lid was obviously drawn as a circle first, and then turned into a half of a circle using a little bit of the Pathfinder, like we talked about in the Pathfinder tutorial, where we did a rectangle drawn over. We bring out our minus front, select them both at the same time, and do minus front. And now we have this like grill lid. But how do you scale it and get it to size? Well, the first thing you want to do is figure out how to rotate this thing. And rotating is super easy. There's a couple ways you could do it. One's more precise and one's arbitrary. Rather than hovering over any of these anchor points, if you just hover near an anchor point, you'll see the cursor change into these little arrowheads. And what that does is it allows you to start to rotate this thing rather than resize it. So you can kind of eyeball this. And this is where it's good to have your sketch template that you created initially to go in and use that as a reference to see how things are going to line up and where to position your different parts. Now, once I get this rotated, I can put it right over that and kind of get that in line with the lines that I have here and start to pull on some of these anchor points. So this is basically how you would scale this up. Now, it is arbitrary, but it's a real nice, easy way to do it. Your shapes are all pliable. They can be adjusted and so on. If I grab a corner anchor point, it's going to scale it up entirely. If I grab the bottom anchor point, it's going to stretch it down and up, and etc. So you have all these different anchor points to be able to do that. So now that I have my lid in position, if I want to create a copy of this for the top of the lid, for the little handle part, I can just Control-C or Command-C on the Mac to copy it, and Control-V or Command-V on the Mac to paste it. And so I'm going to rotate this now the other way just by using that whole idea of hovering near the corner and rotating it around. Well, obviously the handle on the lid's a lot bigger than it should be. So now I'm just going to grab a corner and get it down to a manageable size. That looks about right there. And I didn't like how big the lid was on my drawing. So again, you're using your drawing as reference, not as the be-all end-all way that you have to draw your final brands or logos that you're doing in Illustrator. So it's that simple. I have my lid and I have my handle for my lid just by doing a little bit of scaling and rotating. The next thing that I want to make sure that I know how to do is aligning things up. Now, I really don't have anything in my drawing that I need to align up very much, but I wanted to kind of include that in this since we're talking about scaling and rotating and whatnot. And that's if I have multiple objects. Let's say I have these 3 different rectangles that I've drawn, and I want them to line up in a row, and I want them to align themselves based on the bottoms of these so that the bottoms all match up. Well, what you need to do to bring up a line is just simply click on multiple different objects that you have in your Illustrator design. So to select more than one object at the same time, you can click and drag through them to select them, or click one and shift click the others so they all become selected at the same time. Once they're all selected, you can go into the Pathfinder palette. You'll find a line and you'll see these different icons. You also find when you have multiple objects selected those same icons along the top. So it's just a matter of preference. They all do the same thing, so it's a matter of where you remember they're at when you do it. So what's nice about the Pathfinder palette is the Align tab is in there. So I want to line these guys up based on the bottoms. So you can see this one's a line top. So when you see the line along the top of the shapes, it's going to line them up on the very outmost edge of that shape. So if I click that, it's going to line them up along the tops. But I want to align bottom. So the line now on this icon is on the bottom of these, so it's going to align them up according to the bottom. Now if I want to make the space in between these equal, I can go down here to distribute objects and align them based on their horizontal distribution. So I use this one quite a bit when I'm trying to equal the amount of distance between my objects. And it's these 2 little rectangles with the lines in the center. So it's going to align them by the center. So what it's done is it's read the center line on each of these and spread them out so that they're equal. What's nice about doing it this way is if you do a lot of copy paste and you want to line things up. So for example, let me draw a circle here for you, and I'll copy and paste that a few times. I can pull that up there, and I just kept hitting Control V to make a whole bunch of copies, but they're not lined up. So if I shift click each one of these and I get them all selected, I can just quickly go to my align function and line them up vertically. Whoops, I didn't select that last one. There we go, vertically. And it's going to pull them all together. And then if I want to line them up evenly, I can distribute evenly with this button here. And I can also do it the same way if I, for example, want to line them up and stack them all on top of each other. I could hit that button. Now they're aligning center and they're all stacked on top of each other, but there's still 4 circles there. There we go. So you can see how align really, really helps to tidy things up quite a bit in Illustrator if they're off kilter. So just a quick recap for you. To rotate and scale, you grab your object you want to rotate, hover near the corner, rotate it as you see fit. Scaling it is just grabbing a corner. If you hold the shift key, it will do it proportionally. Also aligning is just grabbing multiple objects and choosing which align feature you want it to be. It could be align top, center, all that good stuff, just to kind of make things look like they're more professional looking. And that's it. We'll see you in the next tutorial.